Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the accomplished one, the fully enlightened one. Salutation at the holy feet of Dr. Acharya Buddharakita Badavante. Salutation to Kasapa Bante, abbot of Maha Bodhi Society, now present. Respected Bhikkhu Sangha present here. My dear Samaneras, Anagarikas, meritorious Upasakas and Upasikas, lots of blessings to all of you, those who are sitting here and those who are online. Today, I'm very happy to give Dhamma Discourse on Sacha Parami. As you know, past 1 month already gone, we started learning the 10 paramis, the spiritual perfections. We learned Dana Parami, Sila Parami, Nekkhamma Parami, Panya Parami, Khanti Parami. Now, today, I'm going to talk about Sacha Parami. The Buddha, how fulfill the Sacha Parami. Becoming the Buddha, one need to fulfill these 10 perfections. Among the 10 perfections today, we will learn about Sacha Parami, how the Buddha fulfilled the Sacha Parami, the spiritual perfection of Sacha Parami. Sacha means truthfulness or sincerity. Sacha is truthfulness or keeping one's promise. Here, Sacha does not mean simply telling the truth, but fulfilling one's engagement or keeping one's word. Assurance or promise, even at the point of death. Bodhisattvas who follow this prerequisite for the enlightenment observe Sacha as their guiding principle. Not only do they refrain from speaking untruth, but they also avoid other evil speeches, such as slandering, harsh words, and frivolous talk. They never speak slandering words which are harmful and liable to break the friendship, unity, and harmony of others. They use words which are polite, gentle, kind, sincere, and pleasant to all beings. They never engage in profitless, frivolous talk. Bodhisattvas never break their promise under any circumstances. They would not make a promise if they are not able to keep it. Before they make a promise, they consider carefully whether they can keep it or not. They do not come into hasty decision to make a promise under the influence of others or to show favor or disfavor to others. Unlike ordinary people, the bodhisattvas never speak against their consciousness. As they speak, they act accordingly. As they act, they speak accordingly. Here, bodhisattva means what? Would be Buddha. Therefore, there is complete harmony in their words and actions. Our bodhisattva, when he was Sumedha Pandita, decided to practice this perfection, advising himself in this way. Oh, Sumedha, from now onwards, you must fulfill the perfection of truth as well. Even though the thunderbolts may descend upon your head, you must not utter a conscious lie for the sake of wealth and so forth. Being actuated by desire. So like that, the Buddha fulfilled the Sacca Parami. Let us know, let me tell you, through his previous life existence, how the Buddha fulfilled. Let me tell you a Jataka story to understand deeper. In the Maha Sutasoma Jataka, the Buddha said, in previous existence, when he was fulfilling this Sacca Parami, how he fulfilled the Sacca Parami as a bodhisattva, born as King Sutasoma, how he fulfilled the Sacca Parami. The bodhisattva was once ruling his kingdom righteously. At that time, there was a man-eater named Purisada. He was formerly a king, but as he fell into the bad habits of eating human flesh, he was forced to leave his kingdom. Under a banyan tree in a forest, he lived, feasting on human flesh as he liked. One day, a thorn pricked his foot and he suffered long, acute pain from the wound. Thus, in this state of agony, he made a vow to the three deity that if his wound would heal, he would pay back by making a grand sacrifice of 100 kings. Due to his fasting and resting, the wound healed in a very short time. Foolishly, he thought that his cure was due to the kindness of the three nymph. In accordance with his vow, he succeeded in seizing 101 kings and made all arrangements for the great sacrifice. The deity resented this human sacrifice, and in order to prevent it, he appeared before Porisada and asked him to get King Sutasoma also as a sacrifice. Porisada lost no time in capturing the wanted king. He went to the pond where the king bathed and hid himself. As the king had finished his bath, Porisada rushed forth, wheeling a sword above his head. And proclaiming his name, at once he carried away the king on his shoulders. At this moment, the king was not frightened at all, but he felt sorry indeed for not being able to keep his appointment with a Brahmin who desired to recite him 4 advisory verses. As the king was going to have his bath in the park, he sent the learned Brahmin to the city and promised that he would come and hear him after his bath. So King Sutasoma told Purisada of his promise made to the Brahmin and begged him for a short leave. Purisada allowed him to go on condition that he would return ready for the sacrifice. Purisada had no desire to kill him because they both had been fellow students in their childhood, and he had every reason to be grateful to him. He allowed him to go without expecting his return. So King Sutasoma returned to the palace, heard the words of counsel from the Brahmin, and gave him presents. Then he, noble king, summoned all his courtiers and mentioned about his promise to Purisada. They advised him not to go, as he would surely be killed. But the Bodhisattva was a man of principles. He handed over his kingdom and left the palace to keep his promise. In spite of the weeping and lamentation of his relatives and subjects. As Purisada was preparing a fire to offer his human sacrifice, King Sutasoma arrived on the scene and stood before him. Bodhisattva was surprised to see him. He told him, "How foolish are you? I released you thinking that you would not come. You know well that you would be killed. Why did you come back?" Like that, Bodhisattva said to Bodhisattva. Then what Bodhisattva said, you know? "Oh, Bodhisattva, in your opinion, I may have done a foolish act, but I value my word. I promised to come, and I come now. I prize my promise even more than my life. You may sacrifice me." Bodhisattva was very pleased after hearing this. After hearing his promise, his truthfulness. On hearing the speech of his old friend, actually this Bodhisattva was his old friend. He yearned to hear more from him, and he set his feet listening to the advice of the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva preached to him, teach to him, taught him his innate goodness, and he came to the surface and he became a changed person. After the preaching, Bodhisattva gave up his proposed sacrifice and released all the 101 kings and sent them to their respective kingdoms. He himself returned to his kingdom as a reformed king to lead a righteous life. After his enlightenment, the Buddha said, "Fulfilling my truthful word, I sacrifice my life," and set 101 warrior kings. This is my perfection of truthfulness. Like that, the Buddha fulfilled the perfection of truthfulness. Even for the ordinary people, for the ordinary person, it is not possible. It is not easy. If some enemies will release you after catching you, taking somewhere to kill you, and when they leave you for your for something work to you, but I don't think so you will go again, because there is sure assurance you would be killed. But here Bodhisattva, when he fulfilled the Parami, the Sacha Parami, is ready to sacrifice his life even. Truth is truth. Promise is promised. Buddha says, according to the this Parami, they are ready to break other precepts, but they never break the Sacha Parami, because they are pursuing the truth. They are walking on the path of truth. They are to the enlightenment. So they never speak truth. So like that. So here the Bodhisattva was at that time Angulimala. In the lifetime of the Buddha, Bodhisattva was Angulimala. Even that time, how he was so dreadful, so dangerous. Even in this Buddha's time, also he became very dangerous, Angulimala. Do you know Angulimala? He was who killed many people, and he used to put the finger in his neck. Later on, he became a monk and attained arahant, enlightenment, become enlightened one. And the Brahmin and the other four fairy fellows, they were the Anand Bante, Sariputta Bante, and the Buddha's himself, mother, father. So like that, the Buddha says this Jataka regarding this Sacca Parami. Practicing Sacca Parami in your daily life, in your day-to-day life, in your duties, in your life, how do you practice the Sacca Parami? Practicing Sacca in your duties, a father, mother, child, wife, or husband, all have responsibilities towards each other. They need to act or follow appropriate principles of proper conduct. Whatever responsibilities one has, one needs to accomplish them fully and appropriately. Truthfulness can also be cultivated in our work. When we are determined to do a certain type of work, then we do that work fully. If we haven't finished the work, we don't stop. We work with our full ability to gain success in it. Sometimes there are various obstacles. But if we have set the determination, have resolute, there are various obstacles. To do that work, we do it, no matter what the obstacles are, in order to succeed. When we speak in line with the goodness in our hearts. One practicing truthfulness is not hypocritical, pretending to be one but really being another. In being honest, we learn to be a true friend to another, whether in times of happiness or in times of suffering. One does good whether other people know it or not, because there is a firm intent to doing good. Sometimes one may have thoughts that go in the bad direction. But if one is sincere in practicing goodness, then one practice patience and only head towards the good and not get into any parts that lead to a decline in the heart. In the Dhammapada, Buddha, what Buddha says, ekang dhamma atitasa musavadasa jantuno vitinna paralokasa natti papang akaryang. For a liar, one who has violated one law, the truthfulness of truthfulness. If a person can break the law of truth, one word of truth, he can do anything. Even here and hereafter, he can do anything. One who can speak a lie. That's why the Buddha says, there is no evil that he cannot do. When a person transgressed this truthfulness, let me tell you about the consequence of breaking truthfulness. Now we learn how the Buddha practiced the perfection of truthfulness and how can we practice in our day-to-day life. Now let me tell you the consequence of breaking truthfulness. Here the Buddha says, if a person break the truthfulness, they have to suffer here and hereafter. They have to suffer. Or if he has uttered in the past or in this life. But what the consequence of breaking the, let me tell you. If a person break the truthfulness, they suffer punishment and ridicule as scapegoats for others. Misdoing sometimes in hundreds of births, they become foolish, low-born, dumb, stammering of hoarse voice, of bad breath, of bad teeth, full of oral diseases, childless, or obtain only daughters. And even the children, they often refuse to listen to them. If a person break the truthfulness, the Sacha, like whether you are lay person, whether you are monk, especially for the monks, they are on the path of truthfulness, truth, They never lie, and their life based on truth only. So also for you upasakas and upasikas, you also, whenever you speak, whenever you telling something, think before telling something, think before doing something. It is bad or good. If it is bad, ignore, avoid it. If it is good, if it is wholesome, do it, speak it. But don't promise which will break. There is no evil. Buddha says breaking the promise. Suppose you promise something to do when you cannot, there is no evil. But the bodhisattvas, they never do like that. So before making promise, think again and again, and do. And the Buddha says in the Dhammapada, Saccang bane nakujjeya. One who speak the truth, they go to the state of happiness, the place of happiness. In this way, for you, all of you have to develop the Sacha. Be aware whenever you are speaking something, whether it is good for me or bad for me, good for other or bad for others. Think like that. If it is good, then speak, then say. If it is bad, don't say. This is the about Sacca Parami, and try to practice in your day-to-day life. In the past, how many times you spoken lie? Think about it from today onwards. From now onwards, and if you have spoken many lies, make resolute yourself, determine yourself. Oh, from today, I will be aware of speaking lie, untruth words. I will speak truth with your family, with your daughter, son, relatives, with all of you. Speak the truth. Truth is itself a great virtue, noble quality. The Buddha's teaching based on only two realities: the conventional truth and ultimate truth. According to Abhidhamma, Buddha thought the ultimate truth are what? Chitta, mind, consciousness; Cetasika, mental concomitants; Rupa, matter; and Nibbana, the ultimate happiness. And according to Sutta or Vinaya, there is conventional truth. But both are needed, both are truth. The conventional truth you can say like I, you, man, woman, like that. But the ultimate truth is what you are, what woman is. Ultimate truth. I am the Panchakhanda. 5 sense. Chakku, Sota, Gana, Kaya, Jiva, Mano. Like that. The teachings of the Buddha are based on only two truths. According to Sutta, whether it is 4 noble truths or how many truths, this all come under conventional truth. But ultimate truth is this 4: Chitta, Cetasika, Rupa, Nibbana. So, dear upasakas and upasikas, be firm in the speaking Sacca Parami. This is the way of the Buddha's teaching, to be truthful, to be honest, to be sincere, whatever what are there comes under this truthfulness. So be truthful with everybody and make your life beautiful. Make the wish perfect, fulfill the perfection of Sacha Parami. One day, day by day, little by little, slowly, slowly, when our Parami become fulfilled, we will become enlightened one. We will be free from suffering, the cycle of birth and death. Just imagine the Buddha have to take many birth, many life to pursue this Buddhahood, to become Buddhahood. Not easy. Comparing to Buddha, we are nothing. But even though we can practice little by little, like in the Dhammapada, the Buddha says, no, little by little the water pot filled up, drop by drop, water pot fill up the water. Like that, little by little we have to develop this Sacha Parami. Not only Sacha Parami, all the 10 paramis, Dana Parami, Sila Parami, Nekama Parami, Panya Parami, Virya Parami, Khanti Parami, Sacha Parami, and Adithana Parami, Metta Parami, and Upeka Parami. These 10 perfections. Whenever you do something good, remember these 10 perfections and wish yourself, may this goodness, may this wholesome action become conducive to Parami, and I become enlightened one day like that. Wish yourself. You have to wish. Otherwise, this is not Parami. You do for the sake of your to show something, giving dana or giving something is not become Parami. You have to wish for that to become conditioned Parami. Then only the Parami will be perfection, fulfilled. So dear upasakas and upasikas, here I would like to conclude. From today, determine yourself to speak truth and never say lie with your husband, with your wife, with your children, with your relatives, anybody. And if you spoken in the past, no, just let go, and from now onward, become very good, speak truth, and your life will be very beautiful, very good, and very wholesome life. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha blessings be with you. May the blessings of Bhagavan be with you. May you all grow in Dhamma. May you all grow in blessings. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanu bhavena sabba dhammanu bhavena sabba sanghanu bhavena sada sotti bhavantu te.